Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. This video is 10 deadly disasters that are most likely to happen. Prepare, don't panic. A lot of times when people panic, they don't do anything. That's probably not a good idea. Probably the thinking would be, it's always been okay, it's always going to be okay. Okay, in the U.S., the state that has the most disasters is California. I have been through the giant fires. Those are kind of really terrifying. We had Hurricane Hillary just here. We had the riots. So yeah, I can see that. Okay, Governor Newsom, the governor of California, signed into law $20 an hour for fast food workers, which sounds good. Okay, the McDonald's I go to has been closed for a month, and I would say they're doing some kind of kiosk or something in there. Also, the food is most likely to cost more. As it is, really poor people probably can't afford to eat there. But if you work there, it's good, but chances are you're not going to be getting full-time work. Okay, number one thing most likely to happen, and they have told us, an exceptionally cold winter. Why is that bad? Plants, animals, and people could freeze. I mentioned to you that my mother's mother froze in a blizzard, so I have a fear of exceptionally cold weather. So, depends where you live. Like you might think, well, I live in Southern California, so I will be fine. Well, we've never had really bad hurricanes before. This one wasn't that bad because by the time it got here, it was a Hurricane 1. But it was quite the mess. So, and it did cause me a lot of extra work, which I really didn't enjoy doing. But it did give me some idea of what to do. So I needed water, toilet paper, and Diet Coke. Okay, number two, spiking utilities. The utilities are really bad here. So think about this. Don't pay the utilities, turn off the utilities, and freeze. Here in California, you call 211 if something like that was to happen, and you explain to them, and hopefully they're going to help you somehow. Okay, they said cold versus heat. Cold is most deadly. Number three thing, so even extra blankets. I can't tell you how many sleeping bags, how many blankets I've given away. Grid down, number one bad thing, no water. We had some cases of sewage in the drinking water. I mean, when you looked at the water, it wasn't clear. It looked like it had sewage in it. No lights, stores and gas stations closed, and can't access water. So I made some mention of just acquiring a little cash reserve. Jan from New York City saves money, $1 a day or a few dollars, or save your change. It's really good. A lot of times when there's a disaster, maybe you can get in, but they don't have change. Okay, so if the heat, for no heat, think about what am I going to do? Well, you're not going to go in the garage and sit in the car and die of carbon monoxide poisoning, but how about preparing some room, say in the center of the house? This would also be a good way to get, in case of some kind of attack. So some room in the center of the house. I have large closets, not by windows if it's some kind of a nuclear attack. And it's easier to stay warm in a small area. Maybe some small room heaters as opposed to like central heat. Okay, there was some deaths from the cold last year, as a matter of fact. Okay, attack. All right, let's think about 9/11. So the people were told to stay at their desks, but if you have a few minutes to leave the building somehow, they didn't want everyone panicking leaving, but if you can get out, and the closer you get down to the exit, the easier it's going to be. After 9/11, I took an EMT class, and we go in, and when we triage after the buildings come down, we try to get the people out that are, closest to the door. Also, if you're in a building like those buildings that collapsed in Florida and you see running water, you see signs of an impending doom, evacuate. Okay, also there were, I think it was tornadoes, and the people were told to stay at work. One time we had a gas leakage, and I left. I didn't say, may I leave? I thought, we'll discuss that. And they called and they said, where are you? I said, there's a gas leakage. They go, they fixed it, come back. I go, okay. So I came back. But even if you are there, try to figure out which direction this tornado is coming from and run to the other end of the big building. Those people survived. Okay, so, and it depends, like, if somebody tells you to stay and they leave, that is a bad sign. Okay, weather. The number one killer is hurricanes. So, floods. Okay, floods are super bad if there's, like, heavy snows and they start to flood, or heavy rains. So, you have to know which way the water is, and you have to figure out, don't stay up nights, but which direction. Normally it's from north to south. Like here, the water comes, and it was running down to Baja California. Now, there's prophecy that there's going to be these looming black clouds, and you want to get out of the city before that storm hits. There were stories about when Saddam Hussein chemicaled, I think it was the Kurds, and I had customers, I said, how did you survive? He said, when we saw the helicopters coming, we ran through the hills. That's what their prophecy told them to do. And then, they came to America because they had money. Okay, now, it's a good idea to be prepared for any kind of attacks, not worried sick. Okay, two bad things that cause weather things: droughts and blizzards. Droughts and blizzards kill the people, kill the crops, kill the animals. Okay, for snow, you would think people would have warm coats and blankets and sleeping bags, you would think. But if you don't have that much money, get them at the thrift store. But you have to shop and keep your eye out for them. But you're going to need them if we're hit with a seriously cold weather. Okay, so now, fires. Okay, I wanted to mention about the fires in Hawaii. They're saying some of those people could have been saved simply by having gas masks. So here I am in fire country, so I would want to acquire some of those. They're not too expensive. It's like anything. Okay, if you knew it was going to save your life, could you afford it? You would probably find a way. Or at least be the first to evacuate, get out in the front of the line and make haste. Okay, now they're predicting a large fault line that's running, vertically in the U.S. in the middle of the country, and they're saying it's going to split. So we have to wait and see if that happens. Hopefully, most of the populations, I don't know if you guys really thought about that, but most of the populations live on the coast. Okay, now, and be thinking about heat. Maybe some small electric heaters, stuff like that. All right, I want to mention this thing. It's on a Super Soldier Talk, and he mentions that the color yellow is healing. And he said, wear yellow by your body. And so I have these lamps. I have one on, and I'm thinking I'm going to find some yellow light bulbs of some sort, and if I get the least bit sick, I'm going to put them all over the place. First of all, I hate being sick. But it could be something easily like that to recover. So that's supposed to be a healing light. Okay, now let's think about food shortages. Like during a pandemic when people cannot work, then they don't have any money, then they don't have any food. Also, crop failure. The crops are destroyed, there's no food. Pestilence, well, pestilence would be like disease, but also like anything, rats, insects, birds, you know, anything, gophers, squirrels, whatever, eating all the food. Now, another thing about the food shortage is how about long lines at the food banks and scanty amounts of food? All right, let's think about these foods. Bread. Okay, I bought bread today. You know, for the money, I think this Walmart bread, it's $1.50 is probably the best deal. And I made a grilled cheese sandwich. And then I made chocolate milk. Now, the best chocolate milk, Dollar Tree has shelf-stable milk chocolate milk. But this is Colombian chocolate, the good stuff. And you just melt this in milk. And then I like to add so I make a big one. So I had a grilled cheese sandwich. And at some point, can you see this? That's a big bag of cheese. But I also bought these kind of things. See this cheese? It's perfect for a sandwich. I bought 4 of them. So, chocolate milk and a grilled cheese sandwich. And I'm not hungry for hours, and I am happy. I thought, just keep eating that. I also have a lot of soup in the freezer. So bread, okay, I wanted to mention, I always tell my son this, if you ever have to eat beans, make sure you have potatoes. You can make potato cakes, potatoes and gravy, you know. Okay, so potatoes. So think about basic food. Like people would starve if there's no wheat, if there's no potatoes, and the potatoes aren't that cheap. I bought rice, and I thought, buy the good stuff. I got this at Walmart. Buy the good stuff while if you can afford it, in case you ever have to eat it. And here's the coffee creamer. So I have 2 cups chocolate milk, and I put any kind coffee creamer or 1/4 cup. So if you have the dry coffee creamer, mix 1 cup warm water and a 1/3 cup coffee creamer and stir that up, and then use a 1/4 cup in your chocolate milk, and it gives the chocolate milk a really good taste. Okay, oatmeal. Okay, milk, butter, and cheese. I wanted to mention to you guys something. Oh, I hate to take anything out of this freezer. All right, I bought heavy cream, and I made my own butter. I know what's in it. And I have some vegan cheese, any kind of cheese. Okay, so milk, heavy cream, and cheese. And if you've ever been to a food bank, they always give you these for a month. So why not just stock up 12? You might go, I don't like it, I hate it. You can use it to make some pretty good macaroni and cheese. And if you really hate it, I really hate it, just give it away before it expires. But in the event of some food shortage, you're probably going to be glad you have it. All right, tonight I'm having chicken, and I bought some, one of these comparable things, and I just coat my chicken and bake 350, half butter, half oil, and that gives me some good chicken. They have barbecue too. That's Walmart. So let's see, beans and rice, eggs. Okay, eggs are still cheap, but during the Depression they had eggs because they had chickens. So if things start getting real crappy, maybe consider moving somewhere where you can have chickens. Number 8, gasoline and propane. So if the grid goes down, you can't get gasoline and propane to run your generator. So, and you can't really store that easily in the city. So you want to keep your car full of gasoline, because at least that gives you some gasoline to either evacuate or survive. Number 9, alien invasions. I don't think there's going to be an alien invasion, and if there is one, I think it's going to be fake. But if other people panic, I told my son, if there is an alien invasion, don't go outside and don't get in the spaceship. Okay, sickness. Okay, now why sickness is dangerous is because of they're predicting some very, very bad reoccurrence of the sea pestilence. So there could be a mass migration out of the area with the sickness into the other areas that could bring the sickness with them. And the countries that are most likely to be migrated to is U.S., Canada, and Germany. Under sickness, I put biologic attacks. Okay, 11, stock market crash leading to job loss, leading to no money, leading to no food, leading to dying. It's really, it's so easy to store up a little food each week. All right, the last one is, okay, I don't want to step nice thinking about this, but it is in the back of my mind. Okay, the Antichrist. So I noticed they're going to, what they say they're going to do is they're going to like concoct a worldwide religion. Now, even in various religious groups, they're starting to call God a higher power. That's never been done before, but it is now and it's common. Okay, the Antichrist will be a man with no liking for women. I don't know if it'll be a case of misogyny, but he will just have no real liking for women, and we'll go into that in a minute. So a lot of people assume he's going to be really bad and it's just going to be so obvious, but one of the reasons that is a bad sign, because there was Jesus and there was Mary. Okay, Revelations 13:11. I saw another beast rising out of the earth. That word is changed. It says in the, I think the King James Bible, sea. The sea means the earth. So the beast will rise out of the earth. So he'll probably be some man. It had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a beast. Sometimes the beast is depicted as the dragon, but I think always, like historically, the idea would be he would be a worldwide leader of a church, like a lamb, and if he, a lot of people assume the Antichrist would be a pope or a priest who they usually aren't married, and it spoke like a dragon, so it would be church and then a military leader, this person. So he would be likable. He would be peace-loving, kind of, sort of. And so that is what those are some signs of what is coming. Now, the thing is, nobody knows. This is the interesting thing. Okay, what is going to happen in the future? Well, nobody knows. Now, what's cropping up, too, is a lot of psychics, and they say they know what's going to happen in the future. Especially in the realm of the future, it says only God knows, that future. And so always, future telling was always a big no-no as well. And I was watching some religious prophecies and stuff, and I go, this is future telling. I'm sorry, this is not godly. But, you can have your own opinion on that. I watch them one after another, and some of the stuff seems pretty, like, I'm not sure it's religious. I'm not sure if it's some kind of propaganda of some sort to fake. I think all the religious people are stupid. But you can put it in the back of your mind and take what you like and leave the rest. Okay, you guys, I will see you later, and God bless you all.